doing any more videoing during that point. So we just ticked over. First mile probably the slowest at 11:26. I'll drop on the screen the figures for mile 3. So the wet one, I think we are going to go potentially to Club Run. So tune back in there. Right guys, welcome back to the channel as always. Monday run, easy 4 on the plan. We're out with Jake today, who's now back to running after an injury layoff from Manchester. So nice steady run. Original plan was to go out at lunchtime for the run. Jake was going to be able to get out about 4, so I delayed it a bit, hence the schoolboy error of no rain jacket. So we're just over a mile in. I say easy run today and try and actually run it easy for a change. So mile 1, 11:26. We're looking somewhere between 11:30 and 12-minute miles. We'll see if we get 4 in. Calf muscles still pretty tight from Saturday's PB attempt, and Jakey's just coming back from an injury, so it's his first run. So we'll have a look and see. If we pull up early, we pull up early. But the idea is 4 miles are easy. Alright guys, just ticked over the 5k mark. Rain came down quite heavy at one stage, so didn't bother doing any more videoing during that point. Don't make for very good viewing. And me and Jacob were having a good chat about motivation and YouTube and everything else. So we just ticked over, as I say, the 5k mark. Got 200 or 300 meters left to go. First mile was probably the slowest at 11:26. I think mile 2 was 11-ish, and then I'll drop on the screen the figures for mile 3, so I didn't hear my watch beep. But yeah, a wet one, but a good start to the week again. So Wednesday, I think we are going to go potentially to Club Run, which is speed work. I've got intervals on the plan, so tune back in there. Right guys, Wednesday night, interval session on the plan. We are down here at Shobnall Leisure Complex. We're going to go out and get on the track for the intervals. The plan was to go to Club Run, but timings weren't really working out. I need to be back a little bit earlier than Club Run will finish, so we've headed down to Shobnall. Layers are on. We're going to jump on the track because it's lit. Hopefully, yeah, because it's lit. 400 meter intervals. We're probably going to look at 6 to 8 by 400 meter intervals. Mile warm up, mile warm down. Just see how the hamstring, sorry, how the calf is in my left leg. Just to give you a bit of an explanation about that. When we were doing the 5k PB attempt on Saturday, I felt my calf pulling tight a bit, which is why I backed out a little bit in the last mile as well. But I felt it pulling tight. I went out on Monday for an easy run, and for about the first mile and a half I could still feel it pulling, and it's still there. It's just sort of contracted. So target will be 9 to 9:15 minute pace for the intervals, but it'll be purely driven and dependent based on how the calf's holding up. If
I think that's a little bit too quick, or I'm doing myself a bit more damage. I'll back out of it a little bit and we'll drop down to maybe even 9:30s, 9:45s for the intervals and just take it from there. So GoPro's going out on the track with me, and then we will drop back in at the end of the run and let you know how we've got on. So that's intervals complete. We ended up doing a mile warm-up, 6 by 400 metre splits intervals with a minute standing rest between each one, and then we did a half-mile cool down just to tick over the 5 kilometre mark. Last 2 splits, my calf, I keep saying hamstring, my calf started to get tight again, and then it seems to be even worse when I'm running slower. So I sort of just polished the warm down off at 2 laps to tick over the 5k point. Splits were a bit all over there tonight. We had a 9:27 first split, which felt like I was running a lot harder. I think we were down the lowest split as low as 8:15, but I'll drop the detail of the splits on the video for you. With the exception of the 9:27, everything was 9:15 or below. So there is quite a few positives to take from that. Perceived effort on those are not as hard as they were first time I did them, and so the speed work's starting to get there. I noticed as well, I've tried to lift my knees higher when running for a couple of splits, or certainly for a couple of parts of the splits, and I certainly am quicker over that point. So I think there's some strength and conditioning needing doing on the cross trainer to improve my conditioning and strength in my upper legs, my quads, my hamstrings, etc., in order to try and keep driving that forward. But yeah, all out a good session, great facility, as I've said before, to just run around in circles and get your intervals done. On to Friday, which is a progression run, 5 miles, starting at mile 1, which will be 10:30, and working our way down to mile 5 at 9:50 with mile either side warm up, cool down. So we will pick you up then. Right guys, we are out on Friday's progression run now. Today's run is 5 mile progression, starting at 10:30 per mile and coming down in 10-second intervals for each mile that passes. We've then got mile warm up, mile cool down. Currently running the warm up around about 11:30ish. So got the new SaySky jacket on tonight. See how we go with this. Already a bit too warm for it, but pick up in the run. It's a bit dark, so we'll see what the video's like, what the footage is like in the run. If not, I'll loop in and tell you about the run afterwards. 1 mile down,
10:25 average. Warm up was about 11:25 average. So we're now looking at somewhere between 10:15 and 10:25. Try and give me that 10:20-ish average. So that's that progression run done, guys. Warm up mile was around about 11:20-ish, 11:20, 11:30-ish. 5 progressions. We stayed pretty much within that 10-second decrease per mile and finished on mile 5 being pretty much bang on the button, 9:50. We then finished off with a mile cool down at around about 12:21. Excuse me, I've got sweat dripping in my eyes still. So yeah, all in, a good workout. Hardest mile was definitely mile 4 of the actual progression, the session a bit. I could comfortably, if my mindset wasn't in the right place, I could comfortably have given up at that point and walked it in or ran it in. Went out tonight in the Invincibles for the second time. Got a little bit of hot spots on the balls of my feet, and unfortunately I think I've got a bit of a blister on the ball of my right foot. So I'm not sure, to be honest, if that's down to the trainers or whether it's down to the socks I've worn. I've put a normal pair of sportswear socks on rather than a proper running sock, so it could be down to that. I'll give them another whirl at the weekend on Sunday when we've got an 8 mile steady long run or easy long run, probably around about 11:30 to 12-minute mile pace. And yeah, I'll drop the stats on the screen so as you can see them, and then we will see you on Sunday. Sunday long run, guys. We are out for 8 miles today. Original plan was that we would go out about 7 AM this morning, but it was absolutely shattered, so I decided to push it back till later this afternoon. So about 3 o'clock, lovely sunny day. Target for today, say 8 miles, around 11:30 to 12. Nothing difficult, just real easy, steady miles. We've got new AlphaFlies on today. They got delivered about an hour ago, so we made the decision to go with them. Ticked over 3 miles in. We are having a real struggle today, no doubt about it. Trainers much smaller, in my opinion, than version 1. Much narrower, especially. I'm struggling with the width of them at the minute. I'm having to stop and walk every probably half a mile or so. Just try and let her get a bit of respite and relieve the build-up of pressure in my left foot. Typically try and ring Emma and she's not answering her phone, to get her to ring me. My Invincibles out, but we'll carry on ploughing through, similar as we have been doing. See how far we get. So we are just waiting for Emma to bring me some other trainers down and getting us to bring me the Invincibles. She's finally answered the phone. Really disappointed, to be fair. I was looking forward to wearing the new AlphaFlies for Derby next Sunday in a week's time. I'd looked at some reviews before and they all said that they are really tight across the breadth of the foot, but they do loosen up, so I thought I'd give them a whirl. But 4 miles in and I run the risk of them causing me an injury if I carry on for too much longer. So I'll drop Nike a message later on today, see what can be done. I think they're pretty good normally. These have done literally 4 miles, so all my other Nikes are all 9.5s. These are exactly the same, just come up a bit too tight. So yeah, Invincibles on their way. 4 miles still to do. We will pick you up once I've changed trainers. So we are now happily tapping along in the Invincibles. Jesus, when I put them on for the first time after them AlphaFlies, they felt like pillows. They really did. Nice easy pace. We were at the 4 mile mark. We were a bit behind the 11:30 to 12 pace that we were setting, partly because we were run walking. So we've now just picked it up a little bit, knocked about 15 seconds off in the first mile. Not really pushing to get there as such. It's more about time on feet today. Get 8 miles in the bank ahead of next week, and then a couple of runs next week before we do Sunday's race. So yeah, pick it up. It's starting to get a bit dark. Well, we're starting to lose the light a little bit. It's not getting dark yet, but it will be doing. But I'll pick it up probably with a mile or so to go. 1.5 miles to go now, guys. Just wrapping back on for the final time in the run, just to give you a bit of a roundup as to where we are to here. Not really improved the pace that I'm running at, but the fact that I'm not run walking anymore, it's taken about 30 odd seconds a mile out of my average time. So we're getting down towards that 12-minute pace. So as I say, easy run easy, or easy long run that's easy. Not trying to do anything too exerting now between now and next week. Still undecided about the plans for next week, really. Whether to just go out and enjoy the race, take the GoPro, have a bit of a giggle and run it as a long run, you know, with some effort and intensity, but not an all-out race, or whether to go out and go full tilt. But we'll have a look in the week, see what we're thinking. But yeah, drop back in as we get back to the car, give you a quick recap. So that's that, guys. End of another week's training. We are now back in the car after about 8.3, something like that, 8.4 miles.
evened itself out just over 12-minute miles towards the end. So yeah, pretty steady, easy 8 miles, time on feet. A little bit frustrating in regards to the AlphaFlies. I'll probably do another video specifically about the AlphaFlies, the problem I've experienced with them, maybe even a little bit about Nike's response. I don't know. We'll see. We'll make a decision where we go. So that means Derby 10K will be a Vaporfly race, which is no problem. I did the half marathon in Manchester in the Vapors and felt great in them. So yeah, 21 miles or 21 and a half miles for the week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 21 and a half miles. So good week for me. Try and continue to build that consistency as we break into into December, and then the start of the training plan in January. We'll drop back in, let you know, build up to race week next week. Again, out the country for a couple of days next week, so we'll fit the runs, probably just 2 in around those travels. But yeah, good week of training all in all. 2 good sessions, intervals when I wasn't feeling 100%, but still got it done. And then Friday night's progression run, which was a really good run, a really difficult run, no doubt about it, but good nonetheless. So yeah, we'll drop in and put a bit of a weekly roundup and conclusion onto the end of this video. We'll drop some stats into it for you as well, and we will see you on race week. Cheers, guys. So guys, now Monday morning, very quick recap before we start the working day. As I said there, just at the end of that video, 21 and a half miles this week, which is actually the longest week I've done. So I think my longest previous week to that was was Manchester week, which was about 19 miles. So yeah, really good week of training, 4 very different exercises or runs throughout that. The easy run was ran easy on Monday night. The interval session was ran hard, but within myself, so as I didn't do injury. Progression run, really difficult, but really felt good off the back of it. And then yesterday's long run, so 8 miles in the bank for the long run yesterday. Heading into Derby, feeling really good, really strong. Still undecided what we'll do, but we'll make a decision in the week as to how we run it. Whether we just take it easy as a 10-mile long run, or whether we go full tilt and put everything in to try and achieve the best time we can. So as always, guys, really appreciate your time watching. Please like, subscribe, drop me comments as to the type of content you want to see. Next week will be race week, and then we will have another lull of about 4 weeks where we're not in a training plan. We've got a 10K to do. We're going to do a couple of cross countries as well during that time. But yeah, any video content you want to see, drop it in the message, let me know, and we will try and sort you out. Cheers, guys. See you later.